in my book, there's a lot of genealogical research, you know, going back, Dick's family, my family, these heroic and amazing tales of people who went west. But one of the things I discovered is that Dick and Barack Obama are 8th cousins. What? Is that an amazing thing? Yes, if you go back 8 generations, really? They have a common ancestor.
Now that we know Vice President Dick Cheney and Senator Barack Obama are distant cousins, the New York Post decided to check into the genealogy of President Bush, and his family tree has people talking. Early Show national correspondent Tracy Smith has the story of George W. Bush's many relations.
My honor to bring to you the 41st president, a great dad, George H.W. Bush.
We all know his father, but what about his cousins? Let me take you through this, branch by branch. Vice President Dick Cheney is actually a blood relation. He's President Bush's 9th cousin once removed. Cheney's cousin Barack Obama is also Bush's 11th cousin. And Bush shared more than just a ballot with John Kerry. That's right, they're 9th cousins twice removed.
These bloodlines are literally able to be traced by genealogists all the way back to ancient Sumer and Babylonia. And these human familiars, or pets, of the demonic angels have worshipped Satan and his minions under many forms from the time of Sumer right up to our present day.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
In terms of these 3 people that you mentioned,
he also had dealings with Omar Sheikh, the man who murdered Osama bin Laden. Now, I know that having dealings with people does not necessarily mean direct evidence, but I also know that internal security has totally collapsed.
Mr. President, in your speeches now, you rarely talk or mention Osama bin Laden. Why is that? Also, can you tell the American people if you have any more information, if you know if he is dead or alive?
Well, deep in my heart, I know the man's on the run if he's alive at all. And who knows if he's hiding in some cave or not. We hadn't heard from him in a long time. And the idea of focusing on one person is really indicates to me people don't understand the scope of the mission.
The U.S. announcement about the alleged death of Osama bin Laden has raised more questions than answers because of the ambiguities and the way U.S. officials, including the U.S. President himself, have presented the details, at times contradictory, like him being armed, which later was corrected.
The fact is now raising the question as to why U.S. President Barack Obama ordered the killing of the world's most wanted man from the White House while he could have been captured and brought to justice. A U.S. national security official has said the Special Forces team that killed bin Laden was under orders to kill him, not to capture him.
Bin Laden was blamed for being the mastermind behind the 9/11 attacks, and according to the FBI, however, there is not even evidence hinting at such a connection. So let's get that straight with an opinion from you, the connection between bin Laden and the 9/11 attacks, which was made by the Bush-Cheney administration at the morning of the attacks.
We're talking about the big lie of our time, 9/11, and the lie of the moment, killing bin Laden last Sunday. It would have been a neat trick if we did it, because he died in mid-December 2001. Who said it? Former President of Pakistan, Musharraf, Benazir Bhutto, before she was killed.
Omar Sheikh, the man who murdered Osama bin Laden.
Other people made the same statement. In 2002, George Bush was interviewed about bin Laden. He said he really lost interest in him. He really didn't care about him anymore. The CIA, a few years later, shut down its search agency, supposedly looking for bin Laden. Well, why look for a dead man?
The U.S. president meeting troops at the end of an historic week. Barack Obama's administration still faces questions over the death of Osama bin Laden. But his message for the team that carried out the raid in Pakistan is clear.
Thanks to the incredible skill and courage of countless individuals, intelligence, military, over many years, the terrorist leader who struck our nation on 9/11 will never threaten America again.
I met Rockefeller through a female attorney I knew who called me up one day and said, one of the Rockefellers would like to meet you. I had made a video called Mad as Hell, and he'd seen the video and wanted to meet me and knew I was running for governor of Nevada. So sure, I'd love to meet him. And I met him and I liked him, and he was a very, very smart man. And we used to talk and share ideas and thoughts. And he's the one who told me 11 months before 9/11 ever happened that there was going to be an event. Never told me what the event was going to be, but there was going to be an event, and out of that event, we were going to invade Afghanistan to run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We were going to invade Iraq, you know, to take over the oil fields, establish a base in the Middle East, and make it all part of the New World Order. And we'd go after Chavez in Venezuela. And sure enough, later 9/11 happened, and I remember he was telling me how how you're gonna see soldiers looking in caves for people in Afghanistan and Pakistan and all these places, and there's going to be this war on terror, of which there's no real enemy, and the whole thing is a giant hoax, you know. But it's a way for the government to take over the American people.
I'm aware that there's still some who would question or even justify the offense of 9/11. But let us be clear. Al-Qaeda killed nearly 3,000 people on that day.